that fear is contagious. He wants us to be afraid.
First and foremost, the kid needs a microphone. It's 7:30 on this Tuesday night. That means it's time to find out if you like it or not. I'm producer Chris, and I've got my big boy clothes on tonight. We're talking a jacket, tie bar, pocket square, the whole 9 yards. Why? Because it's State of the Union Tuesday. We're going to talk all about it coming up a little later. We're also going to have live coverage right here on Fox Local and Fox 5 DC's YouTube page. We're also talking about why some parents, though, are making their straight A students repeat a grade. We're talking about adult sleepovers again for some reason, home improvement projects, and much, much more. First, though, let's talk about how you can join us live and weigh in on all of these stories and more. We're streaming. A lot of different ways to do it, of course. If you're watching on YouTube, you can leave some comments in the chat. We'll check those coming up in just a little bit. If you're watching on the Fox Local app on your connected TV, you can make it a two-screen experience. Just grab your phone, scan the QR code, and get your hot takes ready. If you're watching on our website, fox5dc.com, or Fox Local Mobile on your phone, and you can't scan the QR code, we made it easy on you. We've got a link to the Zoom room on my Instagram page, Fox 5 Producer Chris. It's also in our broadcast channel on Fox 5 DC's Instagram page. Fox 5 Producer Chris also on TikTok, where we're streaming live behind the scenes. So we'll check in with all our virtual co-hosts coming up here in just a second. We're also standing by For our in-studio guest host, as you know, it is Tuesday. That means it is Tony P. Tuesday. He's making his way over from the studio after wrapping up a special edition of Like It or Not. Tony P. joining the ladies tonight, Marina Morocco, Tisha Lewis, and more. We're going to talk to him all about the State of the Union and more coming up as well. So let's dive right in, and we are starting off tonight with the president's address to Congress and the nation. President Trump set to deliver his constitutionally mandated address to a joint session of Congress tonight, the State of the Union. And while he will have a captive audience inside the Capitol and every network will cover his speech, experts say the audience is increasingly fragmented, and no matter what he says, it's unlikely to change any minds. Instead, the Washington Post writes, the speech will likely end up drowned out by memes and online clips. Just a reminder, though, Fox 5 will have complete coverage before, during, and after the speech live on Fox Local and Fox 5 DC's YouTube page with this man right here.
We're ready. Yes, sir.
Tony, thank you so much for joining us.
Tony P, Tony Pepperoni. I love that. You know, that'd be a great name for like a Sopranos character, Tony Pepperoni. No, but I'll tell you, it's going to be an interesting night. The question is, do you have all your bingo sheets out? Because what is he going to say and when is he going to say it is the real question.
Okay, so here's my question for you, because, you know, I've lived here in Washington, D.C. for more than 20 years at this point, and I remember all the bars, not only on Capitol Hill, but across the city, doing, like, watch parties and events, and exactly like you said, the bingo DC cards and things like that. Is it still a thing the same way?
I think in D.C. it's kind of gone a little bit backwards. I don't think it's as much anymore because a lot of people view it as no longer just a joke. There's some, some people will say what the president says is really incendiary and awful and things of that nature. They don't want to glorify it per se. But others will look at it as, again, bingo sheets. I want to see what he says and how crazy it can get, who heckles, who fights. I think it's more sensationalized now, these parties, but they're still existing. I think there's less of them now.
Okay, so much like award shows, do you think it is still in-demand television, live television, or do you think it's the sort of thing where people wake up the next morning and just watch clips online?
I think they'll just watch the clips, because overall, I mean, people, not only will they have the actual clips online, you'll have reaction videos, stitch videos. It'll all be taken care of on YouTube and everything else. This is what I think, though. I think like award shows and like talk shows even, the State of the Union might not be as applicable anymore because the president tweets all the time. Any president now, from President Obama to this president, do the tweeting and all that stuff, and YouTubing and the clips, and they have social media apparatuses. So I don't think you need this as much as you used to. In the 60s and 70s, you needed the address to get the word out.
A few times, exactly. And, you know, like this White House in particular has said, President Trump is one of the most visible and accessible presidents.
He is.
Constantly in front of the cameras.
Yeah, whether you like him or hate him, he's very accessible.
Okay, so we don't usually get political on this show. You guys know that if you watch the show. So show of hands in the Zoom room. Anybody planning on tuning into the State of the Union? Show of hands in the Zoom room. David is. So David, we're going to call on you. David, what are you hoping to hear from the president tonight in the State of the Union?
Oh, yeah, hockey team. Go USA! USA!
Hey,
USA!
you're in the wrong city, my friend. Right. They are right here in Washington, D.C. today.
They are. I mean, well, I know the mayor of Denver might invite the women's team, I heard, which is pretty cool. Like the whole celebration of Flavor Flav's doing something, but maybe they'll be out in Denver. Who knows? But no, I think, do you think there's any particular policy you want to see, or do you kind of want it to stay like kind of civil overall?
I mean, no. I won't say that I'd like to keep it civil. The policy that I'd like to hear him say is I'd like to hear him give his plan to reduce the deficit and lower the national debt. Number one problem facing the nation. Yeah. It gets lost in a lot of the yelling and screaming these days. It's a big problem. It needs to be solved. And it's going to be hard to fix that problem.
Pay-as-you-go tax has been going on for years. Absolutely. I'm with you.
And I know money is the bottom line for a lot of people, and a lot of people worried about the economy and affordability as well. Just a reminder, like I said, you can get complete coverage right here on Fox Local, Fox 5 DC's YouTube page. Tony P and I will have the arrivals for the State of the Union. We'll take the president's address in full. We'll have the Democratic response afterwards, and then we'll talk in with some of our experts. All right, moving on. Let's talk about student athletes now, Tony P. Redshirting, nothing new on the collegiate level. We know that. However, now some parents are paying thousands of dollars to schools to purposely hold back their middle and high school students a year. Straight A students, too. We're not talking students who need this for academic reasons. The Wall Street Journal says they are making them repeat a grade with the hope that they will have a competitive edge and maybe end up with better endorsements. So Tony P, putting the emphasis on the athlete in student athlete. Do you like this or not?
This is absolutely crazy. I mean, first of all, you're putting someone socially potentially back a year. You have to repeat the same thing. The age differences are real in those early years. Absolutely not. This is another grift by overzealous parents that think their kid's going to be the next big thing. Is it possible? Yes. But you know what? Let the kid have a normal trajectory, really build those friendships, because again, you don't want to hurt those social fabrics early on in the kid's life. That's a big part, especially now post-COVID, all technology. You want to make sure they have access to real friendships and you're not pushing them back for arbitrary reasons.
All right, that's Tony P's take. Let's see what Allison thinks. Allison, welcome to the Zoom room as always. Thank you so much for joining us. Allison and Onyx, I should say.
Yes, say hi.
So the idea of purposely not just asking schools to hold your student back, even though they have the grades and the academics to advance, but paying to have them held back in the hopes that it's going to help them have a competitive edge in the sports world. Do you like this or not?
No, that sounds immoral and illegal, and it's also not helping the child at all. And again, this sounds like some type of motive from the parent, like trying to get the student to be something different. And then it makes me wonder, how does the child feel about this? Like when they could be graduating and moving on or doing something more with their life, but doing something that a parent who should be guiding you properly, making such a poor decision. I think this is absolutely horrible.
Chad and Laura in the Zoom room. Chad and Laura, the idea of holding somebody back on purpose. Like I said, redshirting has been a thing forever in college, but now on the middle and high school level. Do you like it or not?
Well, back in my day, all of us nerdy kids were trying to like skip a grade, so this is really weird to me. But that being said, I mean, I was a year ahead and I was actually one of like the bigger kids in my class, so I guess I just feel bad for all the kids who aren't as genetically gifted and need an extra year.
Yeah, this seems like cheating. My son was born in early October, so that's, I know you'll see if, well, actually, I know you're done with time. Well, your kid was just born, so you won't have this problem. So it was the night we had a decision: do we bring him into kindergarten a little early, or do we wait a whole year? So we went with early because we wanted him out of the house.
Yeah.
So we
totally.
went kindergarten early.
I'm an October birthday, so I was always on the older side, as
Right.
opposed to waiting a whole year.
I
and
was
being one of
September.
the
I barely
youngest.
made it.
Yeah, which it's a tough call, obviously, and it does. You know, there are rules about how old you have to be by certain grades to be able to compete at certain levels. But I do think that Brent is back in the Zoom room. Brent, welcome back to the Zoom room, sir.
How you doing? Great to be here.
Great to see you again. So do you like the idea of choosing or paying to have a student held back so that they have a competitive edge on a sports field?
I wholeheartedly agree. I was a student athlete myself in multiple situations throughout everything from every level. I'm a doctorate, from elementary year. And there was different things that I experienced, and I completely, wholeheartedly agree with everyone's perspective because it does seem like the athlete part takes over the academic part.
Yeah.
They pay with athlete if he doesn't make it. So the percentages and averages and everything, numbers and stuff is different. I'm not gonna say.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
It's putting the athlete first. Totally right, Brent.
As opposed to paying to have them held back academically so that they have the advantage. I would rather pay a tutor to get them better at the sport, for example. So obviously
Not
a lot of
everything's
people have
a
a lot of
business.
different opinions on this. David, do you like the idea of paying to have a student held back so they have, I mean, they could end up playing for Team USA?
It is an option I'd seriously consider. There's a study I recently saw which basically said that the being born in January is highly correlated with both athletic success and academic success. And it turns out it's just because of the mechanics of when kids go into school. It's basically saying the oldest kids are the most successful because they have the longest time to be paid attention to. They're the most physically and mentally developed, in their class. So it leads to success. So if you hold a kid back, so they're among the older ones, they're more mature, they develop faster when they're competing against their peers, it's an option, you know. I don't know, like the don't broke it if it ain't, or don't fix it if it ain't broke part of me says, you know, just kind of stick with the system, unless you can figure out something that's better, you know. But it is an option, and it's something I'll consider with Alex. But my inclination is to stick with the tried and true, you know, regular schedule.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of money on the line. Obviously,
There sure
there is
is.
huge potential, and the way the NIL game, especially for older athletes, has changed the game. I know. I mean,
Yeah.
you could look at your student and say, hey, maybe the athlete is more developed than the student side, and
True,
so
and
maybe we'll go this route.
And when it doesn't work, then what happens to that kid's future for jobs?
That's true, but at the same time, you know, college is expensive, and if you can get a scholarship by holding your student back and getting them more,
Or some endorsement deals to help.
or endorsement deals to help pay it. Let us know what you think. Jump in the comments section. All right, the Super Bowl just a few weeks ago, but you don't have to wait much longer for football to be back, because the UFL returns March 27th, and the league just announced some new rules it says will make the game more exciting. Those rule changes include field goals worth 4 points if they are converted from 60 yards or more. The league will also ban punting inside the 50-yard line until the last 2 minutes of either half. So basically, if you're beyond half the field, you got to go for it. There's no punting. League leadership says the changes will encourage bigger plays and a faster-paced game. Tony P, the new rules for football. Do you like these or not?
When I first read them, I was against it. It kind of seemed gimmicky, but no, I love the fourth down thing. 50 yards in, yes, because I think that you're seeing it in the NFL now. They're all taking risks. They're doing a lot of, you know, fourth and 1, 4th and 5 from the 40-yard line. It's very possible now. So it also just harps on that trend, and it really enables good defense as well. So it's fast-paced, big plays, and then defense gets to take a little bit of the action as well. So I
Yeah,
love
but no
this.
love for the punter, man. No love for the punter.
Yeah,
He's part of the team. Why he doesn't get to go out there and kick?
First of all, I'd rather see the long, big punts from like the 10-yard line all the way down to the 40-yard line. So you
Okay.
know what? The art of punting still is allowed to happen. I just think it's a little bit different. In the 60 yards, that's going to be so much fun to have those, again, different decisions come into play.
No question. Would you like to see these same changes instituted on an NFL level?
Yes. One thing I'd like to see with the NFL is to figure out a better kickoff that's still safer than the original one, but not just sitting there like this. Can it be slower? Can we have something a little bit of a hybrid?
Most people hate the new
it's awful.
kickoff rules, including the President of the United States.
The one
Chad
thing
and
we
Laura.
agree on.
Chad and Laura, do you like these UFL changes?
Yes.
Yeah, this is our first time hearing about it. We were both like, oh, maybe we should start watching.
It's a
Yes,
cool
it's
league.
almost like an unwritten law, unwritten rule recent years where they don't kick beyond the 50. They usually go for it, right?
Yeah.
Most teams still go for it, but it's not like a rule. So I think I like it.
Yeah.
Right.
Are there
Two
any
thumbs up.
other rule changes you would like to see made to the game to make it more exciting?
Oh, what were those?
Oh, Peyton Manning says if the defense can't tip a ball, that's against the rules. You can't tip a ball around. Peyton Manning hates when they tip a ball. If they tip it and they get an interception, it shouldn't count against the quarterback. These are Peyton Manning's rules. They're not
We
rules.
just like all
Really? Already? Here's my
Definitely
Peyton.
It was all
Here's
pro
my Peyton
quarterback, 'cause
impression.
that's
You ready?
just-
Okay, that doesn't make the game more exciting. It just makes it better for the quarterback. I disagree with that. Do you guys remember the old school XFL and some of the rule changes?
Yes, the
that
scrums.
They
Remember the
basically
scrums they
made
used to
it
do?
as violent as possible. That was back in the day before they had, like, you know, the crowns and the helmets and stuff like that.
Omaha.
Yeah,
Omaha.
protect people.
Go.
Tony P doing his best Peyton Manning impression. All right, this next one for all my fitness fans out there. So Chad and Laura, you know we're calling on you first tonight. It's a debate about gym etiquette. It came on Reddit. A user asked if she was wrong for asking someone to move off of a piece of equipment. The poster says they were waiting to use a treadmill while a girl just sat on one for about 15 minutes talking with a friend. When they asked if she planned on actually using it, the girl said no, but then refused to let the poster onto the machine. The situation escalated when the girl's mother stepped in, defending her daughter and saying she wasn't doing anything wrong. That led to an argument. Eventually, gym staff intervened and told the girl to either get up or leave the gym. Tony P, And the P stands for push-ups.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you something.
Asking people to move off a machine.
Look, I don't even really go to the gym that much, so I'll tell you, if that person was on the treadmill, I would just see it as a good thing to go do leg day or back day or arm day and not get on that cardio. I hate cardio.
The goal is swole, Tony P.
But I'll say this. I think it is totally rude to have basically a kid on there idling. The biggest rule at the gym is you do your workouts, you get off the machine, okay? So I think it's etiquette for everybody. When you're 15, you should be able to know that. I am in favor of the person who called it out, but you don't know if it's the person's parent or kid or whatever. I think the parent's reaction being so rude is like very much entitled, in my opinion, too. Oh, I'm entitled to take up gym space.
It's not a chair. Chad,
Exactly.
how would you handle a situation like this?
Well, this is my last question because I'm actually getting ready to go back to work. I deal with this almost every single day. If I'm with a client and the next machine we want to use is being occupied, I'll just casually, hey, how many more sets you got? And like 1 or 2. So that way they know somebody's waiting for it. And
Right.
generally they are polite and they hurry their sets up. And I don't even ask them to hurry up. But if they refuse, now that's an issue. And as the kid not using equipment, or if they're on their phone or you're sitting there between sets for 5 minutes, that's an issue for me.
Yeah,
So my suggestion would be to approach them, ask them how many sets, and if they are rude to, then go get a manager.
Yeah, that's not even like bad gym etiquette. That's just bad, like that's just rude behavior.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just someone being an a-hole.
Exactly. I agree 100%.
We've enabled rudeness.
Well,
Yes.
parents are enabling rudeness in that sense. Like I said, it's not, find a chair if you just want to sit and chat. This is
Or a corball.
Exactly.
Right.
This is an exercise space.
Exactly.
All right. Keep the comments coming on all the stories we have talked about so far. Coming up next, adult platonic sleepovers, whether you like them or not, and the fit checks from mom. We'll be right back. Sometimes Jim over here cracks us up, and you guys, I'm sorry that you aren't privy.
The greatest
to
impersonations.
How funny this guy.
You and Jim Loke have great impersonations. You should do these things online.
That's right. Jim prefers to stay in his corner. He doesn't want anyone to know.
Or you can
All
teach
right,
me.
Welcome back to Do You Like It or Not. Thank you to everyone weighing in on the YouTube comment section. West Virginia Ben says, get up and move if you're at the gym. The other key rule that he called out was not just you move once you're done with the machine, but make sure you wipe it down when you're done.
Absolutely.
All
Oh,
right?
that's again courtesy at the
Courtesy,
gym, please.
Exactly. Think about others. All right, another TikTok debate tonight. We went from Reddit to TikTok now. This one over whether or not it's okay to have an adult platonic sleepover. Take a listen.
should have slumber parties with your friends. You should be watching movies together. You should be eating snacks together. You should be gossiping. You should be talking about your partners, your boyfriends, your girlfriends together. You should be complaining. You should be laughing. These are all things you should be doing at a sleepover, and then you should be doing it till late. You should be staying up till at least 1 a.m. And then you should be going to sleep in the same bed together, potentially cuddling if that's something that you like to do with your friends. Wake up, breakfast together. And then if you want to keep hanging out, you can keep hanging out until later in the day, but you shouldn't be cutting the hangout short. Everyone started getting into relationships and they stopped having sleepers with their friends. That's a huge mistake. We should have never stopped having sleepers with their friends. I think that's how we create intimacy with their friends. I think that's how we create closeness with their friends. Invigorate ourselves with like community is having just like a slumber party with your friends. Why would you ever want to stop that?
Platonic cuddling. You had me in the first half.
You had me at hello.
The comment section was divided. Of
course it
the
was.
poster's own boyfriend said he loves when his partner has sleepovers and he gets the place to himself. I get that. Others said the concept will lead to, quote, blurred lines and boundary issues. One person just objected to the shared bed and cuddling aspect, and that is me as well. But we're all 100% on board otherwise. So my cuddle buddy here, Tony P, do you like this idea, adult platonic sleepovers?
I'm kind of like you, Chris. I love every other part of it. I think getting together... I can't stop laughing.
Making Tony P
No, but it's
very
good.
uncomfortable.
No, you're not. No, but listen, I'm all about positive masculinity and really embracing this stuff. I'm all for it. I think us guys should have a lot more time together, whether it's poker night, golf trips, hanging out, watching movies together, doing karaoke in the house or going somewhere else. I think it's great. And you know what? If people are going to drink, stay over for the night or so.
What if it was co-ed?
If it was co-ed, I think, you know what? Again, if people have their separate areas and there's no boundaries being put against,
blurred lines and boundaries.
Fine, exactly. But I think overall, I think no sleeping, in the same room. Again, unless you want to, fine.
Danger zone. Stacy,
But no.
is in the Zoom room. Stacy, welcome to the Zoom
Stacey,
room. Where are you watching
hi.
from?
I'm from Upper Marlboro, Maryland.
Love it.
Well, thank you so
Great
much
golf
for
courses
joining
out
us.
there. Great golf course in Upper Marlboro.
Stacy, do you like the idea of the adult platonic? Nope, shaking her head.
Okay, so this is my thing. If the girls, guys, whatever, if they're hanging out and they're intoxicated, too drunk to drive or whatever, yeah, fall out where you are. Fall out where you are. You don't have to climb in bed with each other and all that unless that's where you fall out at. But as far as, no.
No.
That's a little too much.
Not feeling it. Not feeling it. Allison in the Zoom room. Allison, I know we have talked about sleepovers on this show before, but do you like the idea of a group of friends getting together or just one-on-one friends getting together and having a sleepover?
Yes, I think it's so cool. I don't know why people get so worked up about it. I think it's cool and it's fun because you can just stay up as late as you want and just talk all night and just chill and hang out. And another thing, people get tired. You don't necessarily have to be drunk, but maybe if you're trying to kick it until like 1 o'clock in the morning and you're too tired to drive home, then you're right there and then you can wake up. And if Allison is at the sleepover, I'm bringing you all the beautiful little fruit and all the good morning stuff to eat. It could be a great time. I think it's a great idea.
It does sound like a great time.
Yeah, it does. I mean, again, I think if the right boundaries are put out there, yes. Because again, I mean, even when I was a kid and I had, sleepovers with my friends, we weren't sleeping in the same bed. We had sleeping bags. We had, we were sleeping on the floor. I mean, so like that's okay. Like I said, if you want to do that, let's do it. I'm all for more of that.
Freddie, the adult platonic sleepover, do you like it or not?
I do. It's better that when I have a friend to bring a sleepover, it's better to have fun with it. You can just enjoy.
Yeah.
And I see you two hugging each other.
Yeah,
And guess
thank
what?
you.
I'm hugging my
Great
pillow,
teddy
too.
bear, by the way.
Exactly. Michael's in the
love
Zoom
that.
room. Michael, the adult platonic sleepover, do you like it or not?
What does it mean?
The adult sleepover, do you like it or not?
I sleep with my mom.
Okay, there you go. David, David in the Zoom room. David, the adult platonic sleepover. The last adult platonic sleepover I had, do you know who I shared a hotel room with? And this is a friend, not family. Do you know who it was?
Your wife.
Tucker Barnes. We went to Atlantic City. Yeah, no, my wife.
You went to
I'm talking about
AC?
just a friend. We went to Atlantic City. Tucker Barnes and I shared a hotel room, and I have pictures to prove it. I'll call them out right now.
There's evidence to this?
The adult platonic sleepover, David. Do you like it or not?
For same-sex people, it's fine. I mean, no issue. For co-ed, that's really risky. That's probably a no. But my preference, the introvert in me, wants to be done with people at the end of the night. If I'm
Yeah.
hosting people, time for you to go home.
That's a good
But
point.
if I'm visiting someone else's house, I want to go home to my own bed.
Right.
The
that's a good point.
social battery has run out. Here's the one caveat I will add to this. There are a lot of think pieces out right now about how catch-up culture is ruining friendship, where basically you only see each other every so often and you cover all of these superficial bases. What have you been doing lately? How's work been? Have you been traveling? How are the kids? Like, you're not actually getting anything below the surface. And the one thing that can kind of force that is spending that extra amount of time together, not just grabbing a beer, not just grabbing a cup of coffee, but actually like dedicating a little bit of time to that friendship. And the sleepover can help do
Play a
that.
round of
So,
golf too.
Yeah. Listen, if I could bust out like the old school PlayStation and like have some of the nights that I had in college where we would just watch one of my friends play Grand Theft Auto until 5 a.m.
That's not bad.
It would be like, if I could just forget all life responsibility and be able to do that,
Yes.
it would be a dream come true. Thank you to everyone who joined us in the Zoom room on this Tuesday night. Thank you to Tony P for lending us his expertise as well. Thank you to everyone
that what you
watching.
call it?
Yeah, of course I do.
Thank
my,
you. Wow.
My cuddle buddy here, Tony
Hey.
P. I got to come up with a P for, what's it called? Anyway, a special State of the Union edition of Fox 5 News at 8 is coming up next here on Fox Local and Fox 5 on the Plus. We'll be back at 8:35 for the State of the Union arrivals right here on YouTube. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. For producer Jim, I'm producer Chris, Tony P. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.